Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us today. Goverdhan, we'll do part 2 of Goverdhan. It's also by beach, and Karuna beautifully sang the Yamuna Astakam in honor of that. So thank you so much for that. So we were at Aniyor village yesterday, and we continue with the circumambulation of Govardhan. Aryavrat, Indra's elephant, performed Abhishek of Krishna with the water of the celestial Ganga he brought in his trunk. Surabhi poured milk over him and offered to him beautiful prayers. The water from this bathing ceremony created the famous Govinda Kund. Then all the demigods came, and together they performed puja and gave him gifts such as golden crowns and jewels, etc. So this is Govinda Kund, number 42. Yes, a very nice pastime that there with the Gopals. After getting all the calves together, the Bijbasis, they returned to Krishna and saw all the golden paraphernalia. Right? This is from the worship of the demigods. They wondered where all these things came from. Nand Baba became somewhat worried. I only hope Krishna didn't steal it somewhere in some temple. We know he was stealing butter as a small child. But Krishna's fatty Brahmin friend, Madhumangal, told them,
do not worry. When everybody ran away, I could not. You know, I'm not so quick. I could not run, and I have seen what happened. First, a cow came and started to talk to Krishna, then an elephant with Ganga water. After a while, a guy with 4 heads came and started to worship Krishna with all those golden things. Then another one came, he was far out. He had eyes all over his body. Then the one with snakes came. All these far out people came and started to worship Krishna. And after they bathed Krishna, they left just shortly before you came.
Krishna's boyfriends didn't know what to think about this funny Brahmin boy, but they stopped worrying, picked up those chamaras, ghee lamps, conch shells, and umbrellas, had Krishna seated on the throne, and spontaneously started to worship him. So this is the beauty of the Bijbasis. So this is number 42, Govinda Kund. 41 is Gopal Bhagatas Dali. And this is the Gopal Bhagatas Dali. At the spot where Madhavendra Puri discovered the beautiful Gopal deity known as Srinathji. The deity of Gopal was originally installed by Brajna 4,800 years ago, and it's very special and beautiful. After Madhavendra Puri left Vrindavan, 2 Brahmins from Bengal served the deity. After some time had passed, Raghunath Das Goswami saw that there was a need to find a devotee to serve Gopal. He gave it to Vithal, the son of Vallabhacharya. So now the deity is worshipped gloriously in Nathwar by the Rudra Sampradaya. And if devotees recall, Madhavendra Puri did a fantastic installation ceremony. So much Abhishek was done. So many offerings were made by different villages to Gopal. And there he is, Srinathji. Very, very beautiful. Glorious. So 41, 42, that is 42 is there, 41, 42. So next 43. Radha Govind Mandir. The deity of Sri Govindev in this temple on the banks of Govind Kund was again originally installed by Brajna 5,000 years ago. Then 43, got 2 things. Nipakunj. Just behind Radha Govind Mandir, there is a small lake called Nipakunj. There used to be many Kadamba trees on the banks of this Kund. Many of their leaves were in the shape of cups. Krishna and cowherd boys used to take lunch here on the banks of this Kund and use the leaves of Kadamba tree as cups. Once gopis were passing this way and Krishna blocked their way, demanding tax. Gopis wanted to go on and threatened Krishna to tell King Kams about it. Krishna replied he was not afraid of Kams. He would kill him and throw his body on Govardhan hill. Gopis laughed and, leaving their pots with milk on the ground, returned home. Krishna then fed the boys with butter and yogurt. Then we got Madhavendra Puri's Bhajan Kutir, number 44. Bhajan Kutir is on the bank of Govind Kund. Number 44 again is, there is a small hill at the side of Govind Kund where Lord Indra, Brahma and other demigods stood during Krishna's Abhishek. This hill is surrounded by many buildings. It is very small now. Roka Dauji, 45. That's on Govardhan itself. There you go. Let's Govardhan. Dauji means elder brother. Once Balaram, Krishna's elder brother, was so intently looking at Krishna's movements during Ras Leela that he turned blackish and the deity became known as Doka, staring, Dauji. So this is Balaram Mukut Shila. On the left side, there is this impression of Lord Balaram's crown, Mukut, on the rock known as Balaram Mukut Shila. 46. 47 is Nrsimha temple. So we've been there, Nrsimha temple, very interesting temple. Near the banks of the Navakund is temple with black stone deity of Nrsimha. Upon request, the Pujari may lift the deity's dress to reveal Hiranyakashipu being ripped. Prahlad Maharaj is standing nearby, standing somewhere. From the top of Nrsimha Mandir, one can get wonderful views of Apsarapan, a forest surrounding the tail of Govardhan from the side of Govind Kund. And then 48 is Navakund. 48 is all the way here. Navakund means young or ever youthful. This lake received its name after ever youthful Sri Krishna. Once Radha and Krishna were absorbed in the ecstasy of the Ras dance, and then Krishna looked at the beautiful Radharani and simply melted into this lake. Radharani then looked at the Tribhanga Lalita form of Krishna and melted into Apsara Kund. The waters of these two kunds are simply melted forms of Radha Krishna's prem. This kund is sometimes called Punchari Kund, since it's directly at the Punchari tail of Govardhan.
So the tail is
at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. So that's the Apsara Kund as well. The 49, here it is. When the demigods came to bathe Krishna, 108 kunds were created by the water from his Abhishek. Apsara Kund was created when the 7 main Apsara, heavenly dancing girls, came to perform their Abhishek of Krishna. And Srimati Radharani is, of course, extremely beautiful Apsara, or transcendental damsel. Apsara Kund received this name after her. Eternally youthful Nanda Nandan is right next to her in this form of Navalakund. So on the banks of this Apsara Kund, there is Apsara Bihari Mandir, temple, Dauji temple, and small Apsara Ishwar. So Shivalinga shrine. It is said that 24 main incarnations of Lord Vishnu eternally perform their pastimes on the banks of this Kund. Krishna used to come here, and for the pleasure of his boyfriends, he manifested some of these forms and enjoyed his pastimes. Once he manifested 12-armed Vishnu form in front of the gopis, and Shubal took form of Garud. On another occasion, he became Varaha and started to dig the earth. Then he became Ramachandra, and the cowherd boys became monkeys. Very interesting pastimes. Puncharika Lota Baba Temple. Number 50. Very familiar temple. Oh yes, Lota Baba is one of Krishna's cowherd boys. One day he cooked a nice meal for Krishna and Balaram, but suddenly Krishna passed by. Oh, sorry. on a cruise chariot heading to Mathura. Lauta invited Krishna and Balaram for the meal. Krishna replied, "I'm just coming," as he always does, with the promise that he would return the very next day. Since this time, Lota Baba is sitting in this very same spot facing the road and eagerly waiting for Krishna and Balaram to return. He's not eating anything. He waits for Krishna to start eating together. The deity looks like Hanuman at first glance, and in fact, Lota Baba is considered non-different from Hanuman. So this is interesting. When we go there, I haven't noticed that before. So we'll check that out next time. He's got a moustache. Shyamadaka, 51. 52 is Raghav Pandit Cave, Manikundali Cave. In this cave, Radha and Krishna used to meet and enjoy their intimate pastimes together. Raghav Pandit, an associate of Mahaprabhu, used to use this cave as his bhajan kuti to perform his nirjan bhajan, secluded bhajan. Raghav Pandit also lived at Goverdhan, and Srila Rupa Goswami arranged for Srinivas and Narottam to go on Vraj Mandal Parikrama with Raghav Pandit. So in those days, the Vrindavan was not so busy, but still these Goswamis and Pandits, they used to go to a secluded place to chant, to do bhajan, so that they don't get distracted. So this is quite important when we're chanting, to have as little distraction as possible. Manikundali Cave and Nathji Temple, Aryavrat footprint in Indra Puja. So these are all in this vicinity, 52, 53, 54, 55. Indra Puja Shrine on the Govardhan Hill, and Aryavrat footprint 54, impressed upon the rock right next to it. Krishna was walking on Govardhan Hill, seeing the damage caused by Vrindavan, to Vrindavan, created by Indra's torments of rain. 56, Indra Kund. On seeing Krishna, Indra fell down and offered obeisances at this place. He shed so many tears that they created a lake called Indra Kund on the opposite side of the Parikrama. So 56 is there, and then 57 is there. Surabhi Kund. This kund filled with sweet water and was created by heavenly Surabhi cow, brought by Indra from Brahmlok to pacify Krishna. After Indra realized his mistake, Surabhi came forward to Krishna with the milk in her udder and requested Krishna to forgive Indra. Only then was Krishna appeased. Later, I agreed to have darshan of Sri Krishna's Leela. Surabhi resided at this place for the duration of Krishna's manifest Vraj Leela time. Similarly, as Indra was forgiven by taking bath and performing Achaman of Surabhi Kund, all one's aparads are forgiven by taking bath here. So Surabhi Kund, interesting place. Rudra Kund and Hariju Kund. Here Mahadev, Shiva, became so absorbed in meditation on Krishna's Leela that he began to weep. Rudana means tears, and this Kund is sometimes called Rudan Kund, since it was created by Rudra's tears. In Hariju Kund, same sort of place, also a great lake at this place, surrounding Rudra Kund, named after one of Krishna's friends. It is said here, Radha and Krishna enjoy bathing together. Aryavrat Kund, 59. This was created by Indra's elephant Aryavrat, who brought water of celestial Ganga in this trunk and stored it here for the bathing of Krishna at Govind Kund. And then we have the Samadhis, 60, which is 60.
Just there. Just
there.
there. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. There's a whole lot of samadhis there. Haven't been there. Mukuravinda Vithala Samadhi, 61. Mukuravinda means lotus mouth of
that's where you pour the
Govardhan.
milk. Pour milk. Mukuravinda.
It's accepted by the Vallabhacharya who managed the temple of Gopalji. The same Sampradaya is also looking after the original Gopal deity known as Srinath Natwal in Rajasthan. The six Goswamis had very good relationships with Sri Vithalacharya, the son of Vallabhacharya, and they entrusted the responsibility of the seva to the sons of Vallabhacharya. So Vithalnath's Samadhi, Vallabhacharya's Vaitakstan, is nearby. 62. Dandavatsena. 62 is there. And he said that anyone who circumambulates this Govardhan 7 times and offers full dandavats will be relieved of all offenses that may have been committed during the Parikrama. He's also said that the priests who serve in the temple on top of Govardhan Hill come here to rid themselves of offenses they may have committed by having climbed on the sacred hill. Since pilgrims will have unintentionally stepped on many stones around Govardhan on the way, they happily circumambulate this sila. Jatipur village and
Gulalkund.
Oh, Gulalkund, yeah. Gantoli and Vilachu Kund. So these are, little distant away. 64, 65, 66. Okay, Vilachu Kund. Once Radharani lost her ankle bell here. She was searching for it when Krishna suddenly appeared and asked her jokingly if she was looking for his flute that had been lost. Radharani asked Krishna not to joke, but to help her find the lost anklet. Krishna persisted in joking and Radharani became angry. In order to pacify her, Krishna started to dig up the earth with his bare hands. To Radharani's amazement, he dug up all types of ankle bells, some gold, some silver, besides all kinds of priceless gems. Krishna then smiled and asked Krishna which one belonged to her. Feeling great happiness, Krishna and Radha and Krishna embraced one another. Beautiful tamal and kadamba trees on the banks of the Vilachu Kund. To get to Vilachu Kund, one has to go from Parikrama Road into this field. Never been there. Sakhistali, 67, which is here. After going through Govardhan town for the second time, Mansi Ganga can be seen. This time from the other side of the Parikrama Road. On the opposite side of Mansi Ganga is Sakhistali, Kadambakandi, where Chandravali used to live with her 64 Sakhis. Within this village is a lake known as Lilavati Kund, Sakhi Kund, which was dug by the girlfriends of Chandravali. There is always transcendental competition going on between Chandravali and Radharani and Chandravali to gain Krishna's attention. Out of all the gopis, the 8 Astasakhis are prominent. Out of them, 2 are even more prominent, Radha and Chandravali. And out of them, Radharani is the most prominent and dearly beloved by Krishna. Rupa Goswami has explained that Chandravali expands herself to become Rukmini, and Satyabhama becomes, Radharani becomes Satyabhama. In the Dwaka Leela, and the gopis headed by Chandravali expand themselves to become queens headed by Rukmini. To ordinary people, this competition of gopis is most confusing. One day, a Brijbasi came to Raghunath Das Goswami, who was doing his bhajan on the banks of Radhakund, brought him some buttermilk. Raghunath asked him from where did he get this buttermilk. I bought it, he said, from Sakhistali. Ooh, hearing this, Raghunath angrily told the Bijbasi to leave The Bijabasi could not understand Raghunath's mood and he fled. So Raghunath Das Goswami is an intimate servant of Radharani's own group. And just hearing about the place of Chandravali made him act in this way. 68, Nimago. 69, Uddhav Kund. 69, now we're getting close to Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. This Kund is situated exactly west of Kusum Sarovar. This is Uddhav Kund. So the Skanda Purana quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatmya gives a very interesting description of this place. Vajjanabh Maharaj manifested Uddhav Kund under the guidance of Sandilya and other rishis. Uddhav always resides here as grass and shrubs in order to be sprinkled by the foot dust of gopis. After the disappearance of Lord Krishna, his queens in Dwarka were greatly affected by sorrow. Once Vajjanabh came here with them, together they performed very loud Sankirtan. In that Sankirtan, all the associates of Krishna started to dance one by one. All of them joined.
Appeared.
Sorry?
Started to appear.
Also appeared one by one. All of them joined the Kirtan and Arjun began to dance and play Madanga. Suddenly, Mahabhagavat Uddhav emerged from the grass. He also immersed in dancing. How could Krishna now remain behind when this Maha Sankirtan was taking place? Krishna, along with Radharani and other Sakis, appeared and after some time again disappeared. Uddhav then thus pacified the queens of this place, at this place. The deities in the temple at Uddhav Kund are believed to have been installed 5,000 years ago by Bhajanab. On the horizon, we can see the towers of Kusum Sarovar monument on the opposite side of Goverdhan Parikrama road, indicating that we're getting close to the end of our Parikrama. Then there's the Shiv Kari and Radha Kunj Bihari, Gaudiya Math. What was that? 71. Yeah, very close to Radha Kunda. And we finally come to Radhakund in Shyamkund. We traditionally start our Parikram from Radhakund in Shyamkund, and we end there as well. And it's the most exhilarating experience when you finish your Parikram at Radhakund and you bathe there. So we can do that today again. So first we offer obeisances in the Sangam, in the meeting place in the middle, to Govardhan, and then to Radhakund, and then we sit on the banks, take some drops of water in our palm and say the mantra Om Pavitro Pavitrava Sarva Vastam Gatopi Vaya Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabhyabhyantar Suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. And we can drink that drops of water and put it on our head. And then we can bathe, we can go into Radhakund. Radhakund ki jai, Radhakund ki jai, Radhakund ki jai. Then we go to the other side into Shyamkund. This is Shyamkund this side. We would do the same there. Pay our obeisances, sit on the steps, take some jal. Om Pavitra Pavitrava Sarva Vastam Gatopi Vaya Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabhyabhyantara Suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. Drink a little bit, put some on our head, and then we can also seek the blessings, of course, of Shyamkund Radhakund and bathe. Shyamkund ki jai, Shyamkund ki jai, Shyamkund ki jai. And then we always come back to Radhakund and bathe there again, because we don't know when we're going to come back again. So Radhakund ki jai, Radhakund ki jai, Radhakund ki jai. And then we can offer some dakshina to the pandas there and seek their blessings so that they pray for us to return very quickly again. And we're actually planning to go to Bharat in mid-January until mid-March. So if anybody is free, able to come, please do come. And hopefully we will try to reach this most sacred of all places. Okay. Govardhan Parikram ki jai. So this is Radhakund, Shyamkund, and then there was Lalita Kund here. You can see that. Surrounding Radhakund and Shyamkund, there are kunds of the 8 main gopi assistants of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. Only Lalita Kund is manifested today. So we can end the parikram. That's where you started, number 3. Govardhan Parikram ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Dido. Anybody like to say anything or any questions? Anything you want to add? Anything you've Surinder? Anything you like to? Any verse that you like to share with us?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhu, Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Haribo.
Yeah, so there are 2 verses I would like to share.
Okay.
First one is that in Govardhan Lila, is Lord Indra brought out showers of rain, torrents of rain, and tried to inundate Vrindavan, and you committed offense to Lord Sri Krishna and the Brajavasis. Similarly, in Ramayana, Lord Indra committed some offense to Sita Devi. And the verse is as follows. Asakrit aparadhinam api mochaka raghuvarayat abhustam tadrisho vyasasya pranata iti dayahur yasya chaidyasya Krishna pratibhavan aparadhur mugdan sayujyado bhur vadakim apadam agastasya testi kshamayaha. This verse was recited by Sri Yamunacharya, the deliverer of even repeated offenders. O Lord of the Raghu dynasty, just for bowing his head to you, you were merciful upon that crow who was so offensive that he clawed at the breast of Sita Devi. So that was Indra in the form of a crow, and he committed some offense to Sita Devi. And just by bowing down to Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi, he was forgiven. O charming Krishna, you awarded the salvation of emerging into your effulgence, Sayujya Mukti, to Shishupala, who was an offender birth of the birth. Now please tell me, is there any offense that cannot be pardoned by you? So that was a bit regarding, so we pray to Govardhan and the Brajavasis and Radha Krishna that we may never commit any Vaishnava aparad like which Indra happened to do in the Leela, but that we shall never commit Vaishnava aparad. And then we have something in Prem Dhamdeva Stotram. Asya gharsanadi chakadri sindhu lilanam bhaktamarma bhedi tivra dukha sokhya khelanam atyachinta divya vaibhava sritaika shankaram prema dhama devam eva nomi gaura sundaram prema dhama devam eva nomi gaura sundaram. So in this verse, it explains like Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he saw the Chataka hill and remembered Govardhan hill and had ecstatic feelings. Upon glancing at the Chataka hill, intolerable feeling of separation overwhelmed the Lord, and different pastimes in the mood of profound adoration were incited, whereby the Lord began to rub his beautiful face on the ground. When Sri Gauranga would remember the water sport pastimes of Lord Krishna, he would jump into the ocean and exhibit the divine symptoms of one intoxicated by pure love. By performing these pastimes, the Lord would inundate the devotees' hearts with waves from the grand ocean of love of Krishna. Those desperate waves carried both transcendental anxiety and joy up onto the shore of the devotees' hearts. Such inconceivable auspiciousness was bestowed only upon the Lord's most surrendered associates. I offer my obeisances to that beautiful golden Lord, Gauranga Sundar, the divine form of Krishna Prema. Nitai Gaura Haribol Prabhu, thank you very much.
Thank you. So what offense did Indra commit to Sita Mata?
He assumed the form of a crow, and he attacked Sita Mata, and with his claws,
Wow.
he clawed the chest of Sita Devi.
Wow.
Yeah. But just by bowing, he was forgiven.
Right.
Just by bowing to Sita Ram,
Sharing that.
forgiven.
Very
So
good.
may we never commit Vaishnava pride. Jai Giri Govardhan, Jai Nimai Janitai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Hare Krishna.
you. And Kaushalya Mataji, you asked about number 68. So 68. Oops.
Yes, Prabhuji, I didn't understand what you said.
Okay. Oop, 1 second. So 68 is Uddhav Kund. And Uddhav.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 69. Wait a minute. It was 68. Sorry. Good point. Let me just check.
Just take from current slide. Let's go back.
Yeah. 68. Oh, Nimgao. No, there's 68 there. We don't know much. 68 is up here somewhere.
It's there.
Oh, 68 is quite far. Yeah, no, we don't know anything about that.
No?
We skipped it. Yeah, we skipped
All
it.
right, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we don't know what that is. So hopefully one day we will go and check it out.
Mhm. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. Thank you for noticing. I'm impressed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Govardhan Hill ki jai.
Jai, jai.
Ki jai.